Hey everybody, this is Desiree Renee from Learning Blind Tech with Desiree Renee. I wanted to take a moment to share with you a project podcast that my husband, Jonathan Simeone, is doing and has been doing for a few years now. It's called Demand Our Access. In the podcast episodes, he discusses advocacy, accessibility, and inclusion for people with disabilities. He discusses the Americans with Disabilities Act and how to advocate for our rights. So head on over to demandouraccess.com and check out his website. And you can also find the podcast by searching for Demand Our Access in your podcatcher, or you can catch him on the first and third Saturdays at 2 p.m. Eastern on ACB Media 5. Let's all work together and demand our access. Welcome to Digital Bytes.
Hey everyone, this is Chris, and I'm back with a digital bite featuring the Libby app. Libby, Libby, is an app that we use here in the US, and I'm not sure if it's available elsewhere, but it connects us to our local public library where we can borrow books. Yes, even though they're digital, you still have to borrow them. They can be books that display text on your screen, or they can be audiobooks. So I thought I would give you a small tour and a few tips on how to navigate this app. So I did a little preemptive search here, thinking about apple season, and so I searched for cookbook. And fortunately, apple begins with A, so Apple Cookbook came up first. Now, when I actually opened the screen here in the search results, I have the Apple Cookbook up here and the information about it.
You are at Apple Cookbook, main, landmark.
Okay, so we're going to swipe right.
Navigation, button. Back to search results, button. Search the catalog, button. Reset search field, button. Library switcher, descript, Owen Whittier.
That is the author.
Apple Cookbook, heading level 1.
Okay, so here's our main information.
Share title, button. Book, Apple Cookbook. Cover image, image. An illustration of an apple with text on it. Owen Whittier, Apple Betty Crocker Cookbook.
Nice. So we learn about the text on the cover, the image, and that it's a Betty Crocker cookbook.
Title status, available to borrow, button.
That's nice. Sometimes somebody else has borrowed it, and there may be only a couple of copies.
Borrow, link. Read sample, button.
That's cool too, because you can decide whether you really want to check it out or not.
Save, button. Similar, filter, link.
Okay, so let's go ahead and see if we can read the sample. So I'm going to swipe back left.
Similar, save, read sample, button.
And double tap.
You are at, open, Apple Cookbook.
Okay, swiping right.
When U.S. botanists visited Kazakhstan in 1989, they found large stands of ancient apple trees that were 300 years old, 50 feet tall, and bearing large red apples. These trees of Malus sieversii, the wild species now believed to be, unfortunately, Vavilov's work in genetics.
And so forth. So we have a lot of history of apples.
Image. Apples on the move, heading level 3. The carbonized remains of apples unearthed in Asia Minor indicate that Neolithic farmers were cultivating wild apples around 8,000 years ago.
Okay, so we know that apples have been around for a really long time. I heard something about a heading, so I'm going to put my rotor on headings.
Text selection, characters, words, lines, headings.
And swipe down.
Apple settle in America, heading level 3. America's number 1 fruit, heading level 3. Apple allure, heading level 3. Popular orchard varieties, heading level 3. Apples in season, heading level 4. Apple breeding, heading level. The lure of the new hybrids, heading the lure of the heirlooms, heading working with heirlooms, heading not found.
Okay, so we get a snapshot basically of all the headings, and at the beginning of the book giving a lot of history. I don't tend to find a table of contents yet.
While there is interest, the heirloom variety, Breezy Hill Lord, in the Hudson Valley, page 30 of 30.
Okay, so this is the last page, so I'm going to go up to the top.
Menu, button.
Let's give us a menu.
You are in the dialog menu. Dismiss dialog. Open navigation. Place bookmark. Description. Close book. Read from here. Description. Previous page. Description. Next page. Previous chapter. Next chapter. Contents. Description. Shortcut. Shift C button.
Okay, so if you were on a keyboard, you could go to the contents, but I'm just going to double tap here and see if we get the contents of the book.
You are in a dialog.
Just touch the screen.
Copyright page. Place unavailable. Contents button. Place unavailable. Acknowledgements. Place on Apple history. Current look. Page 1. Cooking with apples button. Page 15. Apple breakfasts and breads button.
I'm just swiping right.
Page 2. Apple drinks and snacks. Place unavailable. Apple salads and sides button. Place apples make a meal button.
So after each of these places in the contents, it will say
place unavailable button,
which I take to mean that you couldn't read that portion in the book because this is just a sample.
Apple pies and cakes button. Place on apple desserts button. Place preserving the apple harvest place meet the apples apple varieties button. Play appendixes button.
Okay, great. So I'm really glad that I can read the table of contents because that lets me know whether I truly want this book. And given there are 140 recipes and all kinds of information about apples, probably which ones are the best to use for what purpose, I think I will go ahead and get this book. So now I'm going to navigate back to where I can actually borrow it.
Dismiss dialog button.
So we're going to do that. This is in the upper left corner. So now I have to find a way to get back to the beginning or go back out of this sample.
There's exit read aloud mode button. You are in page mode. Apple cookbook. Alwyn Whittier.
Okay, so exit read aloud mode. Even though it wasn't really reading aloud to me, I was able to exit that sample and get back to where I could actually borrow the book. So I can close the book.
You are at Apple cookbook.
And now I'm back to the main screen. And now I'm going to borrow the book. So I'm just going to touch the screen.
Borrow link.
Oh, hey, I nailed it. So I'm going to double tap on this link.
You are at borrow Apple cookbook.
And I'm going to swipe right.
Back to Apple cookbook. Book Apple cookbook. Cup borrowing. Apple cookbook. Alwyn Whittier. Link. Multnomah County Library card. 2210/12 loans 0/10 holds. Borrowing for 21 days button.
Okay, so I get to borrow it for 3 weeks.
Borrow button. End main.
And I'm wondering if I do have to double tap that borrow button just to confirm, which would be good to know.
Loading. Indeterminate. End main.
I always like indeterminate. Let's see what we have here.
Notifications tell you when your loan is due. Would you like to set up your notifications now?
Sure, why not?
Manage notifications button. Alert. Libby would like to send you notifications. Notifications may include alerts. Don't allow button.
Okay.
Libby, hold lapsing. Description. Warns you when your hold has been ready for several days and you have not. Ignore. Radio button. Unchecked. Shelf notice. Radio button. Unchecked.
All these notifications can be customized
Notifications.
at any time.
Page 1 of 3. Dismiss. Choose which types of dismiss dialog button.
And I have the one that I would like to choose, which is let me know when, the borrowing period is just about up. And so I'm going to dismiss this.
You are at borrow Apple cookbook. May.
And I believe I have already done that. So now
Go to shelf button. End main.
let me go to shelf button, which is at the bottom.
You are at shelf.
And now I'm going to touch the bookshelf up here.
Hold 0. Link.
Okay, so I don't have anything on hold.
Timeline. Link. Notices 1. Recent loans. Heading level 2. Dismiss this list. Book. Apple cookbook. By Alwyn Whittier. Description. Title details
Okay.
at library. Heading level 3. Link.
So
Title status. Borrowed. Button.
that's borrowed.
Open book. Button.
Okay, that's what I want. So I'm going to double tap on open book.
You are at open Apple cookbook. Dismiss navigation. Close book. Button. Appearance. Button. Search within book. Button. Cover page. Table of contents. Next chapter. Go forward 1 page. Button.
Okay, so I can do that.
Recent places. Next chapter.
Let's
Go next
go
chapter.
forward.
Go up about this book. Button. Footer. Page 2. Button. 308 pages in total.
Oh, that's good to know.
Previous chapter. Title page. Tape. Next chapter. Recent place. Recent places. Dismiss navigation. Button.
Going to
You are in
dismiss
page
the
mode.
navigation.
Apple cookbook. Alwyn Whittier.
And now because I've dismissed the navigation, I'm going to be able to read now.
Read from here. Description. Short Apple cookbook.
So the read from here is what we want.
Image. Next part. The mission of story publishing is to serve our customers by publishing practical information that encourages personal independence in harmony with the environment.
So I double tapped on the next part.
Cover design and illustration. Copyright 2001, 19.
And I'm just swiping right.
All rights reserved. The information in this book. Note, many of the food preservation procedures described in this book are subject to U.S. www.
And so forth. So we could do a 2-finger swipe down to read.
www.3status.gov. Link. You may also contact the extensions.
So this is just the legal information about the apple preserving techniques and all that, regulated by the U.S. And so there you have it. This is how to locate, borrow, and begin reading a book with Libby. And what I did need to do was to log in quite some time ago with my library card and my information. And then it is saved in there for you. And you can select which branch of the library that you would like. And so hopefully you'll be able to use this app called Libby. It gives you more choices. And it's just a great resource when what you might want to read may not be available on Bard or Bookshare or your book service of choice. So, happy reading.
Hey everyone, this is Desiree. So today I wanted to talk to you about an add-on from the NVDA add-on store that will describe some features of web pages. It will do some images and some other control types that might be inaccessible. So the first thing you have to do, of course, is run NVDA. So if you're running NVDA already, then you're good. The next thing is you can go to the NVDA add-on store and look for an add-on called AI Content Describer. And it's by someone called Carter Tim, and it's in the community add-on store. So, of course, it's open source, so it's not one of those things that is guaranteed to work all of the time. It does use API. It has a free API poly generator when you first install it, so it will use that to go out and obtain descriptions of the images. So I've installed that add-on on my computer now, and I'll show you how it works. So I'm going to go to weather.gov, and let's see what happens here.
7-day forecast 40. Portland Troutdale Airport, KTTD, heading level 2.
Okay, so I am at weather.gov, and I've put my zip code in for my forecast. So first I'm going to move by heading.
Happy Valley or heading level 2.
Okay, that's my location. So now let's say I want to generate a description of where my current focus is. So I'm going to use Shift plus Insert or your NVDA key plus I.
Context menu.
Okay, so now I'm in a context menu, and this is the shortcut key for the describer. So if I arrow down,
Current focus.
I can have it
C.
describe current focus,
Navigator object.
navigator
N.
object,
Entire screen.
entire screen,
E. Take a picture. T.
take a picture. So if I want to use the camera,
Face detection. No API required. Submenu.
it can
F.
use your camera to check where your face is.
Model submenu.
You can change your model right now.
Pollinations. OpenAI. Checked. Alima. O. Pollinations. OpenAI.
So that's what I have is OpenAI pollinations checked. And that is a company who is willing to allow NVDA to use their API for free. So let's go to current focus.
Current focus. C.
And I'm going to press enter.
Retrieving description using pollinations. OpenAI.
Now it takes a second to do this. And if I do my entire screen, sometimes it times out. So that's why I did my current focus. So it's going to tell me the description as soon as it comes up with it in just a second here.
Image description. Image description. Clickable a modern, card-based news/dashboard UI laid out in a few columns. List with 9 items bullet left column, widget/summary. Bullet a blue weather card titled Happy Valley showing 56 degrees Fahrenheit with a forecast line and the text expect 3 rainy days in a row starting Thursday. And a see full forecast link. Bullet A section titled MLB with popular in your area and a stack of team rows. Each row shows a left side team name, a small TBA, February 20th line, injury report available, and a right side team logo/name. Examples visible include, list with 5 items Bullet Huskies TBA, February 20th injury report available Red Sox. Bullet Yankees TBA, February 20th injury report available Orioles. Bullet White Sox TBA.
Okay, so
Bullet Golden G.
let's
Bullet
go
out
down
A. See
here.
more MLB link at the Bullet center column, main feed. Bullet a large top story card with a background image of firefighters on railroad tracks and a headline, overlay, blue collar is in. 10 high-paying jobs that don't require a degree. A small label at the top reads USA Today, 3H with a trending tag near the bottom. Bullet, below it, 2 side-by-side cards. List with 2 items Bullet left card, a CNN item with a thumbnail of 2 people. Text line reads, Rest Easy King, Bullet right card, messages ChatGPT sent a young man who took his. Bullet right card headline, Get the best gaming experience with out-of-list Bullet right rail. Bullet a narrow column with additional cards/tiles, word through and a small thumbnail beneath the top yellow strip.
wow. So all of that stuff was in focus. And that's crazy, right? So it kind of goes beyond even the site that you're in. It kind of goes what's in focus on your screen. Totally. So let's say I want to just do one image.
United States Department of Commerce graphic link.
I wonder what that is. It's just kind of probably eye candy, but let's see. So I'm going to do Shift, Insert, I.
Context menu. Current focus. Navigator object.
And I'm going to go to Navigator Object.
Retrieving
It's retrieving again.
image description. Swoosh cuts across the upper left, forming a slim crescent. Beneath it lies a broad light blue wave that sweeps from the bottom left toward the upper right, creating a diagonal blue band with a darker blue edge near the top right. In the top right corner is a small circular badge in white on blue, containing a crest-like emblem at its center and a ring of tiny dots around it. No readable text is visible in the image.
Interesting. So that's I guess their logo, and that's how it would describe it, but there's no text there. Whereas when you go by graphic,
Set link graphic United States Department of Commerce.
that's the alt text that it's on that graphic. So that's basically how it works. And you can play around with recognizing your entire screen or your focus, or you can put an image in the clipboard and it will do that too. So that's an alternative if you're an NVDA user to get different descriptions of different element types on the web.
Hello and welcome to this digital bite. My name is Jonathan Simeone. This time I'm covering track changes in Microsoft Word. I'm using JAWS 2026 now and an updated version of Microsoft Office 365. As a preliminary matter, we need to make sure that JAWS is going to be able to announce the track changes to us. So I'm going to hit my caps lock V to open my word verbosity settings.
Quick settings dashboard dialog.
And I'm going to type in track changes.
T-A-C-K track C-A-A-N-G-E-S. Track changes 1 of 1 search results.
And I'm going to tab.
Changes 1 search results list box. Track changes speak type editing options word settings.
So I have it set to speak type. That's what I prefer. And I'll use the space bar just to cycle through the 3 options so you know what's here.
Space speak type plus count 3 of 3. Space off 1 of 3.
And if we're doing this pretty clearly, we need JAWS to announce the track changes so off won't work.
Space speak type 2 of 3.
And I prefer type because I don't really want to hear how many track changes there are in a document as I go through it. So I'm just going to tab.
Read only at expand 3 OK button.
And hit enter on OK.
Enter. Edit.
Okay, now, as always, I just have some nonsense sentences in here for us to work with, so I'm just going to go through some of those.
This is the first sentence, period. This is the second sentence, period. This is the third sentence, period. This is the fourth sentence, dot, insertion. Here is text that has been added so it can be end insertion. Insertion, rejected, period. Deletion, end deletion.
So because the track changes have been turned on for JAWS to read them, it's telling you now that I've inserted text here. And to make this hopefully easier to understand, I've told you why I put this text here. This text has been put here so that I can reject this insertion and show you how to do that. So since I'm in the text that was inserted, all I have to do now is hit Shift F10.
Shift group, cut unavailable, 1 of 2. Copy unavailable, accept insertion, 1 of 3. Reject insertion, 2 of 3.
And I want to reject this one, so I'm going to hit R on this menu choice.
And leaving menus, edit.
And now I'm going to go up because this was on 2 lines.
This is the fourth, misspelled, sentence, dot, misspelled, deletion, misspelled. Misspelled, this is the fifth sentence, dot, insertion. Here is some text that has been added so that end insertion. Insertion, change can be accepted, dot, end insertion.
And so you could see here, as I arrowed through this, that the text about the words being added so the insertion could be rejected, that was removed. Why? Because I rejected the insertion.
Home, insertion, C. Charlie.
Now I want to accept this one. So again, it's a simple process. I'm just going to hit Shift F10.
Shift group, cut unavailable, 1 of copy unavailable, accept insertion, 1 of 3.
And this one I'm going to accept. So I'm going to hit Enter on this menu choice.
And leaving menus, edit. Misspell change can be accepted, period. Insertion, end insertion.
And there you can see that it's there. And it stays here because I accepted it. Now, JAWS is still reading it as inserted, which in my view, it shouldn't be doing that because I accepted the change. It now should be part of the document. Sometimes JAWS is a little slow to respond to the changes that I make here. I'm going to hit the down arrow to get us to our next sentence.
Insertion, this is the sixth sentence, period. This text has a misspelled insertion, stealing,
And I did this on purpose to demonstrate something.
Insertion, sixth, sent, period. This text has a misspelled insertion, stealing,
I deliberately misspelled spelling so I could show you that when there's an error, either a grammar or a spelling error, Shift F10 will not give you the track changes context menu. So I'm going to hit Shift F10.
Shift menu. Spelling, 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 group,
and it really wants to fix that spelling mistake.
Is leaving menus, track change.
But if I wanted to just accept this change without dealing with the spelling mistake, I could hit Alt-R.
Alt-R, upper ribbon, expanded, ribbon, review tab selected, 9 of 12, Alt followed by R.
I'm just going to tab through this.
Leaving menus, comments, but editing combo, menu, share sub menu, upper ribbon, spelling and grammar, thesaurus, word count button, accessibility, check menu, language group, language sub comments, new delete, split button, unavailable, collapse, previous button, unavailable, next button, show comments, split button, menu, markup group, display for review combo box, all markup, menu, markup group, show, reviewing pane, split button, change tracking options, tracking, track changes, split button, collapsed off, 1 of accept, split button, collapsed, 2 of 5, click for additional options, comma, such as accepting all the changes at once, period, Alt followed by R, A2.
So there was the keystroke. I could have done Alt-R A2, but that's a lot to remember. So I wanted to show you that you could tab and just get to this. Now there are other choices as it said, and I'm just going to hit Alt down arrow to expand this and show you what's here.
Alt group, accept and move the next, 1 of 5. Accept this change, 2 of accept all changes shown unavailable for accept all changes, 4 of 5. Accept all changes and stop tracking, 5 of 5. Accept this change, 2 of 5.
And I'm just going to do this one. I'm going to accept this change.
And leaving menus, leaving ribbons, edit. This is the sixth sentence, period. This text has a misspelled, stealing mistake, period.
Okay, now it read that one right. It's not saying any longer that this text was inserted because I accepted the change. So it got it right and the spelling mistake was accepted the way it is misspelled. And now this is a really important part of this. I'm going to hit Control-Shift-E as an echo.
Control-Shift-E on.
Now that's the keystroke in Word to turn track changes on and off. By and large, I want them off. And the reason is if you leave them on, it will track every single formatting change, every single piece of deleted or inserted text. And going back and reading through the document is an absolute nightmare. If you want to use track changes, my view is you should write the document as best you can, get a really good draft done, do your spelling and grammar checks and get everything lined up. And then if you want to change some sentences and things like that, and you want to see how it would sound with different sentences and stuff, use track changes at that point. But do not work your whole document with track changes on. And the Control-Shift-E keystroke will be your friend. One thing you could do, though, is if you know that there's a certain part where you really do want to see different things, you could do a couple of sentences with the Control-Shift-E on and track those changes, and then turn it off when you get back to working in the rest of your document. But the key thing to remember here is don't leave this on all the time. It's really not necessary. Only do it when there's something you really want to know how it was changed over time. This is a problem when you collaborate on documents with a lot of sighted people, because a lot of times they just turn it on and leave it on. And so every change they make, like if someone replaces a period with a comma and then makes the next letter lowercase, all of that is announced. All of that is a revision. And it's really distracting to read through all of that and to categorize all of those things. But now that I have it on, I'm going to hit enter.
Enter.
And I'm just going to type.
HEREISSANOTARNSENTENCE sentence period. Insertion. Here is another sentence dot end insertion.
Okay. And it told you that this sentence was inserted. And it did that because when I hit Control-Shift-E, it was track changes was turned on. So any change I make was going to be tracked. Now I'll just demonstrate this real quick. I'll turn it off.
Control-Shift-E off.
And I'll hit enter.
Enter.
And I'll type again.
HEREISSOE1MOREMOSENTENCE sentence period.
And let's see what it did this time.
Here is one more sentence period.
And this does not say insertion on this one. And that's the key. So, and in final tips, use track changes sparingly. It's not a great idea to use it all the time. It will be very distracting. If you collaborate regularly with sighted people, tell them not to put on track changes for every possible little change. It should really be used at the end of your editing process or to compare very specific passages of text in a document. When you want to accept a change or reject a change, as long as it doesn't have a spelling mistake or a grammar mistake, you can get into the text that was inserted and use the Shift F10 keystroke to get to it. If it was changed and it has a grammar or spelling mistake and you actually want to leave it there, you can do Alt-R and tab to the choice like we did, or you can do Alt-R A2 and that will accept the change the way it is as well. So thank you for listening to this Digital Byte, and I'll be back next time.
For more, check out unmute.show, or you can email us at feedback@unmute.show.